Hello, today we have gathered to have a short introduction of .NET. So what .NET is? Basically .NET is nothing but a programming language where it is used as a framework to build several applications. So we will see the introduction to .NET framework, benefits of .NET, building blocks of .NET, .NET languages. CLR is the major aspect of .NET framework, .NET class libraries, where all the libraries are being considered. Now for the .NET, goals of .NET are it is being developed to have a universal access for all the applications from anywhere of your devices. It also provides a basic platform for building different web services, for using internet and distributed applications. You can also deploy and you can even simplify your application development process. It also improves interoperability and integration between systems and the applications. So the .NET framework gives you certain goals. Moving on to .NET framework, the .NET framework architecture, as you can see in the figure beside, the framework is being ranging from 2.0 to 4.5. We are going to currently use 4.5 version in our lab. So in the .NET framework 2.0, you can see CLR, Common Language Runtime. It stands for Framework Class Libraries. So whatever libraries are being used for developing the class are being used and stored here. Windows Forms, ASP.NET, ADO.NET, this everything comes under .NET Framework 2.0. So CLR is basically a rich runtime environment that handles important runtime tasks for the developer, including memory management and garbage collection. Now what garbage collection is? We'll be seeing it later. Built around the common type systems. Common type systems is just required for .NET because it includes all types of system for all the languages which are going to be developed from the .NET framework. Like you can be developing C, you can be developing C++, you can be developing C#, you can be developing in VB, you can be developing in JavaScript. There are many such languages which can be used for development through the .NET framework. So it's not just bound to one language so that you can be using or utilizing a particular class and its particular library, but the several languages are being merged in the .NET framework. So for that purpose, common language runtime environment is being provided for the easy development of the task for the developers. WPF, WCF, WF and card space. Moving on to .NET version framework 3.0. 3.5 includes LINQ and entity framework. 4.0 includes parallel LINQ, task parallel library, and 4.5 includes the latest version where .NET APIs you can be developing. You are well aware of the APIs in the mobile programming. So task-based asynchronous model is being used to represent the applications whichever you are going to store or whichever you are going to release. There are many versions like till 4.7, but currently we are going to use .NET version framework 4.5. Now .NET Enterprise Servers, it consists of different upcoming technologies and identified a suite of products which comes under .NET Server Enterprises, which are also called as server-based applications that web-enabled enterprise systems do. So Windows 2000 Advanced Server, Application Center 2000, SQL Server 2000 till BizTalk Server 2000, these all are the web-enabled enterprise systems. Windows 2000 Advanced Server is nothing but Microsoft's recommended platform for developing enterprise level applications. And you don't have to worry about any other applications like in Windows XP. Moving on to Application Center 2000, it provides management support for applications to improve their scalability and availability. However, SQL Server 2000 provides database support including data storage, analysis and indexing. Exchange Server 2000 provides real-time communication services, including emails. Host Integration Server, it provides integration with legacy of host systems. Internet Security and Acceleration Server manages internet connectivity, including your firewall management system as well. Commerce Server 2000 enables development of e-commerce sites. And BizTalk Server 2000, it is nothing but it is going to facilitate business to business communication and enable data translation between different applications if you want, and it can even automate business process. Now .NET applications, there are various type of .NET applications. Since I told you it is a basic framework wherein you can develop different languages from ranging from VB to JavaScript and all above. So .NET applications gives you several type of applications which you can be building through the help of .NET. Some of them are mentioned here like Windows Form application, Windows Form Control, Windows Service applications, ASP.NET Service applications, and even web services. So ASP.NET Web applications, it includes web forms, web services. Windows Service applications are basically being run on IIS admin service. Windows Form Control. Now this is the successor of ActiveX controls, like they are usable components that provides a user interface and responsive to user events there. So they will have a base classes and all the Windows Form Control which are going to inherit from it. Windows Form applications. Now this is an object oriented set of classes which is going to include the base form class. It can be inheriting directly from the base form class. Now it has again three types or three features we can say of Windows Form applications are the new form architecture. Then is the control object model, which is being used as a set of Windows control for user interface. And next one is new event model, which is based on the delegates. Now delegates is a new concept in .NET framework, which is used to develop more complex and responsive event handlers and callback systems. We'll be seeing in detail in later. Moving on to benefits of .NET. .NET has the following benefits, like simplify application development. Now what does simplify application deployment and simplify application development? These two are different things, like where .NET provides set of tools, different tools, large set of object oriented, maybe extensible, and maybe even system level classes. So it brings power to operating system much closer to the developer with a rich set of classes and services more easily accessible than any previous Windows based sets of APIs. Simplify application deployment is nothing but it is subject to the familiar headaches of DLL hell that arise when component registration get corrupted or type library versions get mixed up. XML everywhere. It introduces to XML with every part of software development, where the common communication technology is being used as a basis of number of XML based grammars. Grammar refers to the collection of fixed XML tags, which is going to combine and describe a specific object or entity. So for unified sharing of data within the .NET framework and between the different components, even you can use XML. It's like more like an XML web service. Universal data access means the ability to access data anywhere, anytime, regardless of what the device you have. So with .NET traditional application, web services were supposed to be written XML over HTTP, open standard systems like called SOAP, simple object access protocols were used, and universal data access is very flexible to exchange data because XML does not dictate how it is displayed. Moving on to web services, collaboration over the internet. It provides a look with the different tools and technologies for creating and implementing XML based services. So HTTP and .NET Vision is every internet enabled device with a potential platform for hosting different kinds of web services. It has been designed to ensure that All types of services can participate in collaborative applications. Building blocks of .NET consist of the .NET Framework, .NET Enterprise Servers, and .NET Building Block Services, which includes a Visual Studio .NET. Now we will be seeing this .NET Framework. We have already seen Enterprise Servers, .NET Building Block Services. .NET languages. Now this is very important part in .NET Framework and .NET languages. CLS stands for Common Language Specification. CLR, as I mentioned previously, it's Common Language Runtime. And to support both of this, there is a common type system representing CTS, which will be using all these systems. A common type system provides an object-oriented model that supports the complete implementation of programming languages. CLR as a tool provides runtime execution environment for .NET applications, which includes CTS and CLS both. And CLS is nothing but it defines conventions that languages must support in order to be interoperable within the network of the .NET. So, .NET class library, these are the namespaces and the description. Now, like C and C++, we are having the standard libraries. Likewise, in the C# we'll be using namespaces. So namespace is nothing but a root for the types in the .NET Framework. The class .NET Framework class library, like FCL it is being termed as, is managed classes that provides access to system services. Classes are object oriented and they are easy to use in program development also. Moreover, the third party components can integrate with the classes in the .NET Framework also. There are different types of organization into namespaces. Like FCL contains code supporting all the .NET technologies, which may be containing Windows Forms, Windows Presentation Foundation, ASP.NET. You can be using ADO.NET, Windows Workflow, Windows Communication Foundation, etc. and so on. So FCL has number of cross-language technologies, including file input output. You can also be managing networking, text management, and diagnostics. So have a look on the namespaces and the description. Now here system namespace is being used, which is a wide range of namespace. Includes all common data types, string values, arrays, methods for data conversions, and methods related to mathematical operations. So all you have to do is just to include the namespace system. Under system, you have so many of categorization like system.data, data.common, data.oldb if you are going to reference for the database with the support of OLE, data.sql client if you are using SQL platform, SQL types if you are going to mention the different types of SQL, for input output, for writing and reading files, retrieving file path, system.io, directory services, system.io.isolated storage. This we will be using mostly. Systems.diagnostics is used to debug and trace the execution of an application. System.net, .NET sockets. These are the namespaces which are used to communicate over the internet while creating peer-to-peer applications, just like in the network form. System.windows.form, windows.form design. This will be using mostly where you are going to create Windows-based applications using different Windows-based components. So this is all. You can have a look on the session state, so cookie management state, web caching, UI designing, configuration, hosting. These are nothing but to create a .NET web applications which you can be sharing and executing over the web applications like internet. Web services, description, configuration, discovery protocols. These are nothing but extended markup language web services, components that can be published over the internet. XML again has a deep categorization in schema, serialization, path, XSL. Security wise, if you go to look on the permissions and policies, for the terms you will be using cryptography. They are just being used for authentication, authorization, and encryption terms. Whereas different services are also being provided by the .NET. For that, you can be using these class libraries, which are also easily available on the internet for just providing the services. Thank you.